This week, Tanya and I are leaving the Jeep at home and getting out the two-wheeled machines to participate in the first annual AMC motorcycle ride. Then Reese and Marianne are back, and this time they're taking us to a historic state park that has a living museum that helps tell the story of how it was founded. Finally, we're traveling to Austria for the Hard Enduro World Championship, an event that you simply must see to believe. It's all headed your way now. At Your Leisure is next. You know, we've parked the Jeeps and we're on the two-wheel machines today.
Nice.
Hey everybody, I'm Scott Huntsman.
And I'm Tanya Huntsman.
And welcome to At Your Leisure. Now here we are right now in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we are participating in the AMC ride today. This is a first annual. People ask, well, what is AMC? Well, it's kind of a complex description. We'll get into that. But, you know, it's for research. They're raising money for research for a very rare condition and disease that some children have. And it is really quite rare.
It's great for everyone to get together and help them with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, motorcycle riders always pool together in good support of these kinds of activities. And it really raises a lot. I mean, and today's a great day for a ride. What do you think?
Yes, it's going to be nice.
Yeah?
Perfect weather, yes.
How's your bike running?
Oh, it's humming. I love it.
You know, the sound of a V-twin never does anybody any bad whatsoever, so it's therapy for us. We call it throttle therapy.
Right.
And we've got at least a couple hundred motorcycles, it looks like so far. The group is growing as we go here, but, you know, we'll be taking off, I guess, in about 20 minutes and riding this. But, you know, in the meantime, to explain the reason for this, why don't we talk to some of the folks who organize this event?
I put it together because AMC is such a rare condition that only 1 in 3,000 children are born with it.
I've known Jason for about a little over a year now. He hit me up, wanted to do a ride. I kind of just gave him a little hand, showed him how to put it together, how to organize it, how to structure, how to put the awareness event together.
Raising awareness for arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, or AMC for short. A lot of it is really unknown because it's so rare. But Axton, my son, he has his joints in his elbows, his wrists, his fingers, his knees, his ankles have all grown as a fused in a fixed position. They are stuck in that position. A lot of the treatment is almost experimental, just because there's not a lot known about it. And the most common thing with it is clubfoot. So it's a clubfoot treatment, but they do a lot of serial castings, surgeries, releasing of the tendons, muscle building through physical therapy. AMCsupport.org. They have a website up where they accept donations. You can buy t-shirts, you can buy wristbands. They got tattoos and stickers. They got all kinds of things. AMCsupport.org.
Hey, you know, I'm really liking the ride so far. We've made it to Liberty Park. I love the organization that we're doing this for. The awareness is great. You can see what kind of a program it is and how good it is. What do you think about the ride so far, babe?
It's been great. I can't wait till we get to the Capitol.
I love it. You know, I love when we're riding together.
Yes.
And the sound of the two V-twins are so close.
I know.
They kind of make a harmonic that it's bliss to me.
Yes, I love it.
Throttle therapy is always a great thing for anybody. Well, we're going to start making our way now as a group up to the state capitol. So what do you say we start heading that way?
Yeah, well, we do that. Why don't you go check out our Where To?
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure, with this week's Where To adventure in Island Park, Idaho, at the place which gave Idaho State Parks its very beginning, the beautiful and historic Harriman Ranch.
I think it's very beautiful, very nice place. Like the scene is very like pretty. There's a lot of like wildlife. We're right next to like a lake, which is really cool. See a bunch of birds fly by. Very majestic.
Union Pacific Railroad tycoons, the Harriman family, including former New York Governor Averill, built their western retreat on a 15,000-acre cattle ranch in 1908. For the Harrimans, not cattle, but wildlife, the landscape, and solitude were the real assets of their railroad ranch.
My father grew up here, actually. This is the place where no matter who you are, what walk of life you come from, you walk away knowing something very special is here.
In 1977, the family gifted Railroad Ranch to the state of Idaho on the condition it establish a park authority to manage the place. In 1982, it opened to the public. Built in 1947, the Harriman Cottage retains all the charm and 20th century opulence the family needed for their summer getaways.
A comforter to end all comforters. Look at this guy, he'll keep you warm.
You can't go into any room without running into Yogi or one of his buddies. When the Harrimans walked out for the last time, they made a special request.
Where the Harrimans live, we were able to go into their original cottage, and I thought it was really neat to see that they had left their chaps on the wall and their boots in the corner, and apparently they had asked once they donated, please leave this there, and they have, and it's neat to see.
Some of the buildings actually predate the Harrimans, others more recent. The character of the architecture and pristine setting takes the visitor back to a calmer, more serene time.
You feel a little isolated, which is kind of nice. Living in like Vegas, you're constantly surrounded by people, and it's kind of nice to just get out and just be around trees, like a nice lake, wildlife. There's no service, no Wi-Fi, kind of like an escape from, the modern day social media presence and stuff.
Several buildings have been slightly upgraded and are available to rent for lodging, including the 1950s era cattle foreman's house, where our family bunked. It has 3 bedrooms, kitchen, bath, and living area, ideal for the 6 of us.
My oldest son said, "This is really cool, and it doesn't even have a flat screen TV." This place is really good for kids. There's a lot of open spaces, a lot of green grass they can run around on. They've seen some elk, a lot of birds, so they're enjoying the wildlife and just enjoying the open air.
Sitting on an 11,000-acre wildlife refuge, the ranch features the rare trumpeter swan, the largest flying bird in North America and an icon of Island Park. But the Harriman swans can be a little testy and apparently don't like sharing Silver Lake with the geese.
Yeah, there were a lot of elk and birds outside of our porch, and we grabbed the binoculars and we could see them perfectly.
The park has 20 miles of trails for hiking, biking, and horseback riding, with an equestrian concessionaire ready to put you in the saddle. And be sure to take the short side trip to Mesa Falls for a spectacular photo op. Harriman State Park is just 30 miles from the west entrance to Yellowstone and offers less expensive and much more interesting accommodations.
I love to be at Harriman Ranch, and I think everybody really ought to take the time when they're going into Yellowstone to come here.
Reese Stein at your leisure with this week's Where To adventure at Idaho's idyllic Harriman State Park.
Hi, I'm Matt Western.
And I'm Joel Gurman. We're here with this week's safety tip from At Your Leisure.
So Joel, what do you do when you got a vehicle this big being pulled out by a vehicle that big?
Well, Sarge, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and increase our anchorability so that we can pull this big truck out of this hole.
Friction!
As part of our stuck assessment, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have enough room for the vehicle to come completely out of the hole. And Brett here is going to go ahead and pull this line out so we can start our hookup. One of our big safety concerns is actually not hooking up to a trailer ball. They are not designed for recovery. Luckily, this big power wagon has some great off-road recovery points on this bumper. So the guys are gonna go ahead and get hooked up to it, and we'll have a nice spot to hook our winch to. The number one component to any recovery is safety. Whenever we're doing a recovery, we like to assign a winch boss. That person's gonna be in charge of keeping everybody safe and away from our recovery. I recommend looking into something like a hitch link. You can find these just about in any four-wheel drive shop. This is actually a great place to recover from. They're rated for about 9,500 pounds. The safest place to be while doing any kind of winching operation is actually inside your vehicle, with your foot on the brake, park brake set, and the vehicle in neutral so you don't damage your transmission. When the winch boss gives the okay, we're gonna go ahead and start winching. Unfortunately, we don't weigh enough to go ahead and winch this full-size truck out. So to increase our anchorability, we have a couple different options depending on our scenario. We can use some traction boards to go underneath the front of our tires, help give us a little more grip. If that doesn't work, we can grab some logs or rocks from our surrounding area and go ahead and chalk our tires. If that doesn't work, we can use a snatch block and increase our anchorability using a second vehicle. All right, so to increase our anchorability, we're going to use a pulley block to increase our mechanical advantage. Now, the way we have this set up right now in a single pull, the Jeep is actually pulling 7,000 pounds. We're gonna split that load in half by having the line come over and attach to this Jeep. With the weight of 2 Jeeps will give us enough weight to pull out 1 power wagon. After every successful recovery, make sure to secure every vehicle in park and with the park brake set. And while you're breaking down your recovery gear, go ahead and inspect for any abnormal wear from a hard recovery. After you've gotten that all put away, you also want to check over the vehicles you've just recovered. Make sure you don't have any cut brake lines or flat tires. And that was another perfect example of increasing your anchorability while performing a safe recovery.
I want to thank Joel from Legacy Off-Road Recovery Training. I'm the Big Sarge with the Utah Four-Wheel Drive Association, and this is brought to you by a grant from the Utah OHV program.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure.
Hey, here we are at the state capitol. Now, this ride is progressing along really well. I'm having a really good time on the bike today.
It was great. We had all of our friends and we got to meet so many new people. It was awesome.
You know, and this is really for a good cause. And we've got a lot of people along here with us. They've had a really good turnout and a beautiful ride through City Creek Canyon. It's been a long time since I've been up that path. I mean, it's been many years since I've been that direction. So we came through City Creek Canyon and we came to the Capitol from the backside. Very interesting point of view that way, and especially when you turn the corner, you make that horseshoe turn, and then you're looking at, the Capitol's there, the downtown area, and you see the whole entire valley past that. It's just really a great view. It's a wonderful day. It's awfully hot out, and we've come with a bunch of friends. What do you think of the ride so far?
It's been amazing. I love it. I especially love the turns to the Capitol and then seeing the Capitol.
Exactly,
that was really nice.
The turns are great. Any motorcyclist knows that turns are wonderful. But we have a lot of people with us.
Let's go talk to some of them.
Yeah,
let's interview them.
Let's do that. Let's see what they got to say.
I think it's wonderful. We just heard about the ride a few days ago and on board right away. I think it's a great cause and a great turnout.
Well, we just like to participate anytime we can ride. We don't need an excuse. We just like the outdoors and open air and riding with friends, and that all makes sense for a good cause.
I didn't know about this until we did this ride. It's great to do these things because it just explodes it. I mean, it makes it that much more. To see that and to know about it now is huge.
It's a great event to get everybody together and just riding with your friends. A great gathering of friends, out in the sunshine, being free, and getting the word out. It's just great.
I think if you're going to look for a group of people to help with any kind of charity event, bikers are at the top of the list. They've got big hearts, big wallets, and this is a great way to get the word out about a certain charity, and it's a wonderful group of people.
Hey, you know what? What great people we met and great friends we went on this ride on today with.
Yes, very much so.
It's wonderful, you know what? And I think that's a wonderful thing about going on a motorcycle ride like that, is that there's so many people. And we went with our friends. We did meet a bunch of new people, and they're really cool. And I ran into an old high school friend.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pretty cool, right? Well, you know what? We were at the Capitol and we decided to ride down here to 4 South because the Utah Arts Festival is going on. Local artists, I think we might find something. What do you think?
Yeah, I would like to look at that one over there. It looks amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's all kinds of things right here.
Supporting local people, supporting instead of big businesses.
Yes,
Yeah.
hey, we're all about that. So, you know what? We're gonna take a look maybe for a new painting or something for our living room. Why don't you guys go to this week's Along the Way?
The Red Bull Erzbergrodeo is infamous among hard enduro riders. One of the most challenging events globally takes place on the massive Erz Mountain, nicknamed the Iron Giant. A functioning mine and through many formidable obstacles.
I was the first guy in it and there was literally no lines, so I had to almost dig some lines and put some trees out because it was definitely really difficult. So I made it a little bit easier, I think, for the rest. And yeah, this was almost, I would say, killed me in this point because I was so done afterwards.
First launched in 1995, the competition draws riders and fans from all over the world. A prologue whittles away from the 1,200 competitors to only 500 qualifiers for the main event. A 22-mile course with a 4-hour time limit.
I think the level is increasing every year, harder and harder. I think for sure it's the hardest edition ever. Even if one year we only been 5 people in the finish line, I would say today not many people will get in the finish in time.
That tight time limit and the challenging course took all but 8 finishers out of the competition. So, how does it feel to put in all that hard work, overcome so much, and still not wind up on top?
I mean, not the best, honestly. I got a crappy start, and then there was a really hard section right after machine, and I think I was in 4th, and I didn't get up and I slipped. And then all of a sudden there's 15 guys and we're all waiting our turn. So I lost 4 positions right there. And then we all had to help each other. By the time I got up, there was like 30 guys there. So I lost so much time there and I thought that was the end of my race. But I mean, I caught right up to the good guys right away. And then in Carl's Diner, I just went to work, which was honestly surprising. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do so well there, but I seemed to gel in the diner. And then there was the Motor X Highway, which I think was probably the hardest, and I just cramped so bad, and I actually caught the leader there, but my hamstrings were so bad that I just had to sit there and watch him literally ride away.
This physical and mental battle keeps the race unpredictable. Extreme competitiveness and a whole lot of grit is needed to get through the ups and downs of the Erzbergrodeo.
Yeah, it was super tough. I had a decent start. Crazy dust, I started to lose a lot of position, about 20 or something. Then I arrived in the forest top 5 or something, and from there I tried to take it easy, do my own pace. I started to overpass one by one, and then I was watching the leader, like maybe 20 meters away. But yeah, second place was the best I could do today.
An epic achievement to finish it all. But for those who do make it onto the podium, there's that special something always pushing them to aim higher.
I mean, this is the biggest extreme enduro in the world, I'd say. So to get on the podium here, it kind of stamps you as one of the best. So it's good to be on the podium, but I really want to win. So coming back next year for more.
What about the winner? How does one celebrate coming out on top of one of the most prestigious hard enduros?
I definitely need some rest now because I'm definitely super tired, and then we're probably gonna have maybe a beer with the boys and have an easy night, I would say.
What an impressive triumph over the Iron Giant. For this week's Along the Way, I'm Brett Pennyfather.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure.
Hey, you know what, baby? We have had a great time today on this motorcycle ride. That AMC ride was fantastic. Such great people on that. We got to take a little bit of time looking around here in the Arts Festival as well. It's like a 2-for-1 day.
Yeah, right.
It's a two-for-one day.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't get any better than this, to come down here to the Arts Festival and check all this out.
Yes,
I think
we've
that
done
new,
lots of good stuff.
that new painting we got for the living room is going to be cool.
Yes,
Yes, I'm looking forward to getting that home. Well, I'll tell you what, while we're having fun doing this and the weather is so wonderful today, we want to show you guys next week's show. Next week, everyone in the industry is coming together as Jeeps, OHVs, motorcycles, and classic cars each take a different trail to the same meetup point, all to help raise funds for a great cause. Then we're getting the side-by-sides back out and hitting the mountains as we head up to the Bear Lake area to ride some trails in Rich County. Finally, the AYL crew is headed up the Weber River to catch some kayaks as they navigate the epic whitewater that only shows up 4 times a year. Now let's take a look at our contest winner. This week's contest winner was submitted to us on social media by Tracy Larson, and it looks like Tracy is the lucky winner of an outdoor stove from Camp Chef. Camp Chef offers the best way to get your cooking done in the outdoors. Visit campchef.com for more information and be sure to call us Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize.
Next week's show looks awesome.
Yes, it does, but I don't think it's going to be as good as today's ride that we've had. What'd you think?
Probably not. It was an awesome ride. It was a little hot, I'm not going to lie.
Yes, it is summertime in Utah, that's for sure. Well, I think that's one of the great things about the bikes. When we're sitting still, we get hot, but when we're rolling down the road, it's still nice and cool.
Nice breeze, yes.
It feels good. And we had so much fun taking our friends along with us today. I thought that was awesome.
And meeting a lot of new people.
We did. We met a lot of new people. It was a great time. The AMC ride went off without a hitch. Really proud of what they did. Next year's event, I could tell already, is going to be a lot bigger than this one was. And I think it's even a double bonus that we got to go to the Arts Festival, and they are willing to ship the painting home.
Right? How would we we didn't even think about that.
I know. I guess I could have tied it to the bag somehow, but
no.
You know, that really probably wouldn't have worked out so well. So it's just as well they sent it to us.
Right, for sure.
I know it was a lot of fun. I loved riding through, you know, in front of the Capitol, a City Creek Canyon behind.
Right, that was beautiful.
Really a great ride too. I mean, there's just nothing bad about today at all. So, you know, for everybody with all of that in mind, remember, get off your couch because there is adventure around every single bend.
And get out there and create your own adventure.
At your leisure. Hey, I'll lead us home.
Are you sure you know the way?
Well, I'll try. If not, I'll let you pass me.
Okay.